What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen Nero back with another review slash impression videos. And today, man, we got to talk about XDefiant. Is it worth your time? My overall thoughts on it. Does it have potential? Is it the Call of Duty killer that people was claiming it out to be? No, it is definitely not. But guys, the title of this is going to be XDefiant is not a next gen shooter. And that's what I want to base this review off of. You know, we're going to go into the deeper issues with the game, some of the problems. We're going to go into some of the pros and some of the cons as well, right? So it's not just going to be, you know, just ragging and dragging a game, because I do have friends and I do have homegirls and homeboys that really have been enjoying XDefiant. So I would never say don't enjoy a game based off of how the next person or how the next community might be enjoying the game. If XDefiant is bringing you joy, then enjoy the game, man. But that also means bad games can be fun and fun games can be bad. So let's just get into it and talk about some of the good. Let's start with some of the good. So it's a free-to-play game. It's a free-to-play arena shooter, you know, very Call of Duty-esque, if you will. I really enjoy that, man. Now, they got decent maps. I'm not going to say great maps. I'm not going to say amazing maps. They do have good maps for it to be an arena shooter. I very much enjoy that. Some of the maps don't make sense with some of the modes, right? You got this Overwatch style map. I mean, not real map, but this mode, right? When you got to push the, you know, like pushing the payload or just pushing the robot forward, right? Certain maps need to be specifically made for certain modes, right? I feel like all the maps is just a mix up no matter what mode you get. You got 5 modes, you know, whether it's defend the circle or capture this, that, and the third. It's definitely a few decent good modes in there that I enjoy. And it gives you a unique way to play and experience. And what I really like as well is you can pick these modes to play off rip. So if you don't feel like escorting a payload or something like that, you can easily skip that and go on to your preferred mode, which I think is very dope. I want to give Ubisoft flowers for that, right? And I also want to say the movement feels pretty good at times, but at the same time it feels clunky. So the mid-air strafe movement is pretty unique. I see a lot of people doing that. I will say, as a shooter, you know, our podcast is called Aim Down Sights on this channel, Game Pass Daily. If you're listening to this on my main channel, Next Gen Nero, the link to our podcast will be in the description of both videos. A very good way to catch up with the news. This is a shameless plug. I apologize. But anyway, let's get back into it. I am personally tired of the bunny hopping in every game. You understand what I'm saying? When you go have a real boots on the ground shootout, or you go in the military, nobody's bunny hopping. So the fact that it's so prevalent in games nowadays is very annoying, but that is what it is. Now, they also have no skill-based matchmaking, and I think this is very unique. I complain about this with Apex Legends and Halo Infinite a lot, and I mean a lot. I'm one of the main complainers about this, right? And the reason I complain about it so much is because not so much that, you know, they put me against really good players per se, right? I have no problem going against players that they deem is on my level. My problem is when you put me against really good players but give me really bad teammates, right? You know, Halo Infinite, for example, I got a team where everybody is 10 plus kills, right? Doing good, KD is decent. On my team, I got about 18 kills. The other guy got about 2 kills. The other guy is about 1 and 10. The other guy is about 3 and 19, something like that, some silly stuff. So that's very annoying. And I would say the gunplay is also satisfying. So that's about 5 good things I named about the game. And let's get into why I think it's not a next gen shooter, right? All right, so guys, I've been spoiled with great feeling games, next gen games, all generation. If you own a Series X, S, or PS5, and you are a gamer like me, or even if you just have Game Pass, you know, whether it's Hogwarts, whether it's Hellblade 2 that just dropped, Starfield, I'm used to real good next gen games. And shout out to the finals as well, because the finals, in my opinion, is a true next generation shooter, right? You have Unreal Engine 5 being used. You have the Battlefield classic type destruction. You have game modes they've been adding. You got a great battle pass, right? And the stuff you work for in that game is all cosmetics, right? It's no upgrading a gun. There's no upgrading. Your gun upgrading is you unlocking skins for the gun. And I like that route way more than the XDefiant of having to grind the gun to level 50 to unlock attachments and stuff like that, especially when the grind is just not fun, right? The characters and stuff like that, everybody looks the same, right? I know that they got outfits and stuff like that you can buy, you can spend money on, but even with the finals, it's a lot of free content in there. These are both 2 free-to-play games, and the way they handle the progression of just character development and the progression is just a night and day difference, guys, right? Like, I hop on the finals, I want to play because I know I'm gonna be rewarded with some cool, dope stuff. XDefiant, I just don't feel that at its current moment, you know? So it's deeper when I say it don't feel like a next-gen shooter. It looked like an Xbox One game. Sorry, not sorry. It looked like a base Xbox One generation game. Muddy textures. It just does not look visually appealing. So I'm not saying I didn't have fun on the game or you can't have fun. I'm just saying if we're talking about next generation shooters, I get it. You know, Black Ops is going to be cross-gen. That just got announced. So that's even more of a reason for me to tip my hat to, you know, games like the finals. You know, true next generation stuff going on behind the scenes and under the hood. To me, that's very dope. So the game doesn't look good, right? The game don't look good. It don't look like a next generation game. It's smooth. It's a smooth game. And I would say it can be a pleasing game to play and feel at times. But for every good match and good moment I had in XDefiant, it's about 5-6 negative moments, whether it's getting shot behind cover, whether it's just poor progression or, you know, them not being clear with the guns and stuff like that. I just really didn't like it. So that's one of my biggest complaints. It just does not feel like a next gen shooter. Now I want to say it has lackluster gameplay with no goals. You know, anytime you play a team objective based game where you got to play the objective, especially for a game that's calling itself the Call of Duty killer. Well, I don't know if they put that title on them, but I know the community did, right? People do not play the objective in these games, right? And that's kind of why I took a break from Halo. Unless the objective is really clear, like team deathmatch or just go kill a certain amount of people, a lot of teammates don't play the objective. So if you're playing with random teammates, you're probably not going to have the best time. You know, people are so worried about having 40 kills and 18 deaths or something like that just to look cool. But it's like, yo, you have 2 objective points. You literally sat on the objective for 2 seconds, you know? So the guy on the other team that's got 7 kills and 19 deaths, you know, he over here got 1,000 objectives sitting over here. And that's not an XDefiant personal problem, you know, personally. That's more of a shooter problem in today's climate and world. Okay, so I don't like that. It's no kill streaks, nukes, or purpose, you know, really, you know, to add on with the lackluster gameplay, which I understand a lot of people don't, you know, really want that in there. You know, they don't want it to be exactly a Call of Duty clone. So I respect that. So I wouldn't necessarily knock that as a bad, but I just figured I'd point that out. The health regen is very slow. Very slow, man. Like your health regen very slowly for a shooter that's, you know, can be quick. You can get in a lot of scuffles and a lot of shootouts within a very quick span. And, you know, for your health to still not be healing by the time you turn around to face another person, you know, they need to fix that as well. Now, the desync and dying around walls a lot. This right here, right, is one of my biggest problems. And I know some of the gameplay you're going to see in the background, it's all random, right? And it's not a skill issue, as some people might try to say. Next Gen Nero, ADS Nero don't have a skill issue. No matter the shooter, I pick up, I drop bodies, I win games, I does this, right? I do this. This is why we named our podcast the ADS, Aim Down Sights Podcast. But the desync and dying around walls, I got a clip in the video that you might have to go back and see depending on where it's at, where I was ducking behind a statue and still the bullet came through the statue and shot me. I don't like that. You know, that's very annoying. Hit registration straight up does not exist sometimes. You know, no kill cams is very unfortunate, right? It feels like a mobile game that was imported into a computer game that was ported over the consoles. That's how I feel about this game. It's absolutely abysmal at times. And it's clunky. Like I said, I have to go back to it. It's clunky. It just doesn't feel good. When I stopped playing the finals, it's because they didn't have modes that I like. You know, the power shift mode where you just sit on the platform. Those modes is pretty cool. Now, the running around trying to get money and then make it to that's cool too for a certain amount of time, but it's not a mode I want to wake up every morning and play. Sometimes I just want to kill people. But the one thing I can never say about about the finals is that it never felt clunky. The game always felt smooth. It always felt buttery. It always felt satisfying to play. Man, XDefiant is such a mixed bag right now, man. So, you know, I understand that, you know, people think that the game doesn't need kill streaks and stuff like that. And that's a valid thought. You know, it doesn't even have to be kill streaks. Just something that, you know, feel individual to yourself, to your player, that you can earn throughout the game and feel cool. So you can just feel, I guess your abilities is as close to a kill streak that you can get. But I feel like that's not rewarding enough. You understand what I'm saying? But being able to be shot through walls is very bad. That desync need to be fixed ASAP. You know, the fact that you can't play on the old gen Xbox, to me, it's hilarious because the game looked like an old gen Xbox, right? So guys, this is pretty much my thoughts, my impressions, my reviews of XDefiant. Now, I do want to say I did have fun with the game. I had fun with the community. Make sure I will put the link to the community Discord in there. We have voice servers for anything from the finals to Apex Legends to Diablo, Mortal Kombat. We're really trying to build out this community, guys. So please make sure you join the community. But like I said, I had fun. I had a good time. It wasn't all horrible, but I only had fun when I was playing with my homies, and that's a red flag for any game, in my opinion. I can have fun on Halo by myself. I can have fun on Apex Legends by myself. I can have fun on the finals by myself. Now, whether or not I want to play them games by myself is one thing. I'm a lame, I don't have friends, right? That's why I'm doing this. But being able to play by yourself in a lot of these multiplayer games is really important, right, to me, because, you know, as you get older, you have friends that works, friends that have kids. You might work, you might have kids. You can't always catch a buddy, and you can't always catch a pal. So being able to hop in by yourself and have a good time is really important, and I feel like in XDefiant you can't really do that. So that was my review of XDefiant. It is not a next gen game. It is a perfectly decent game. You can have fun with it, but it's just riddled with problems. And like I said, this game has had multiple betas to iron these things out. The desyncs, the hit registration problems, those things have been here since the betas. So the fact that we are now at a full release and don't have these issues cleaned and fixed up is very disappointing, Ubisoft. I love you. I love your games, but just tighten up, man, because let's be honest. Today is Tuesday, May 28th, 10:45 a.m. Game Pass Black Ops 6 just got announced to be day one in Game Pass. So let's see if XDefiant can make it through the year, and let's see how them numbers look when Call of Duty Black Ops drop. I'm not one of the guys that want games to fail just because I'm not feeling it. I'm not like that. I wish this game all the success in the world. I love the community that plays it. Shout out to the XDefiant community. But make sure we use our voices in our platforms like I'm doing now to try to get some of these problems fixed. Like I said, XDefiant has a lot of potential, a lot of potential, and I'm always willing to play. So my gamer tag is JMarleyTV. You know, drop yours in the comment if you ever want to run, or just show me and prove me wrong that the game is pretty fun. It's been your boy Next Gen Nero. Shout out to the Next Gen Nero Mafia. Shout out to the Aim Down Sights fans. Shout out to the Game Pass Daily crew. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.